Food servers of Reddit, do you appreciate when we stack our plates at the end of the meal for you? Or does that actually make things more difficult? Stacking is helpful, but for the love of God, don't shove your garbage into the glasses and bowls. Someone has to fish that out. If you want to be helpful, leave your dirty napkins and trash in a pile on the table. Used to bus tables. Yes, it's definitely appreciated, but you occasionally got the nice surprise of someone squishing food in between plates and then it squirting out when you pick them up. What was your reason for giving up? Stop posting on Facebook. The newsfeed content is atrocious. It can't be worse. It isn't healthy. And I am happier and in a more calm frame of mind after stopping with Facebook. It became a misinformation circle jerk. Honestly, I just became bored with it. I still do use it, as it's a great way to find out what's going on in my local community and my kids' schools. However, I post very rarely and have unfollowed most of my friends because I don't want 50 million photos of their kids, or what they ate for dinner, or their new car, or their vacation photos clogging up my feed. What was great advice 20 years ago, but definitely isn't now? To look after your phone battery, you should let it go all the way down to 0 and then charge fully to 100. You need to memorize this cause you won't have the info accessible later. Don't forget to print out your directions from MapQuest before you leave. I remember when my dad told me as a teenager to never be the one to pursue a guy because I'm a woman. Maybe that was to keep me safe in my youth. But I've since come to realize that most of the dudes who are worth being with are either shy or oblivious. And I have no choice but to make the first move. Americans, are you voting in the November 8th election? Why or why not? I've already voted. Yes, gotta ensure those fuckers don't get another chance to ruin the country ever again. Yes, so I can complain. Yes, I do want to ensure that women's rights are protected. Since I had my tubes removed, this doesn't immediately affect me anymore. But I want to guarantee that women can get medical treatment. Since Roe was overturned, doctors are refusing to assist women who are dying from ectopic pregnancies. If nothing is done, it will only become worse. I vote every election. How do you usually respond to a homeless person asking you for money? If you're from a city, you just block them out. I'm from Vancouver. If I acknowledged every homeless person, I would never get to where I need to go. I smile sheepishly while shaking my head and walking past. I used to just say, "Sorry, I don't have cash on me." It worked, but they have evolved. The other day a guy approached me at a gas station and asked me for money. I told him I didn't have cash. He said, "No worries, bro," and then pulled out a phone with a credit card reader attachment. So now I just say, "Nah, I'm poor." They seem to respect that. Dear Redditors, what is a common belief that just simply isn't true? That those 5 minutes after the alarm goes off are actually going to be 5 minutes. That getting a raise and going to a new tax bracket will cost you money. People don't understand that income rates only apply once that level of income is attained. You shouldn't move baby birds back into their nests if they've fallen or otherwise wandered away, because the mother will smell that they've been touched and reject them. Why do people think this? My parents told me this when I was really small, and even for a while as an adult I believed it. Then, one day I'm reading this article about common animal myths and bam. If you shave your beard it will grow faster. What is something people can never understand unless they personally experience it? Death of a loved one. The realization that there is no possibility that you'll ever see, hear, or talk to them again, and there's nothing you can do about it, is gut-wrenching. I witnessed my fiancé take his own life. No one understood that in my life. Poverty. Cancer. What arthritis is like. You will be doing okay one day. Then bam, you'll have an arthritic attack and be in so much pain you can barely move. There's no cure for arthritis. All you can do is hope to slow it down somewhat. What is your favorite Christmas movie? The original cartoon version of The Grinch Stole Christmas. I'm 26 and watch it with my mom every year lol. Muppets Christmas Carol. Home Alone. The Holiday but I'm biased cuss Jude Law is my buso, lol. White Christmas is just so dreamy and gorgeous. Charlie Brown Christmas. Christmas Vacation. Muppet Christmas Carol. Gremlins. The Muppet Family Christmas. It's got all the Muppets. Sesame Street and the Fraggles. And Jim Henson. The Swedish Chief tries to cook Big Bird. What more could you want? Klaus. It's a Wonderful Life. Jingle All the Way. What is the most underrated pizza topping? Little plastic table. Roasted garlic. None with left beef. Basil. Jalapeno peppers. Caramelized red onions. Fresh ground pesto. Balsamic reduction drizzle. Banana peppers. Hot sauce. It can turn a bad pizza into an acceptable one. I wouldn't put hot sauce on a great slice. But if you're giving me Domino's or something, I want some Franks to add some heat and acid to cut through the 50 pounds of fat. Feta. Plain cheese. I love pep and beef and jalapeno and veggies etc., but every once in a while I have a plain cheese pizza, and without the other flavors in there it really just shines. What is your most strongly held political opinion? Politicians should be public servants, not corporate pawns. How can we feel like an equal democracy if we only have two parties consistently represented? Politicians shouldn't receive a penny that isn't from their paycheck. Having shares, rental properties, second jobs or extra businesses create a conflict of interest that should not be allowed. Government and church should be separated. Political parties were and still are a terrible idea. There's a damn good reason George Washington didn't want them. People should be able to afford food, water, and shelter with one full-time job. Companies should be allowed to fund political matters. What is the worst candy? Any candy that says extreme sour and then is disappointingly not extremely sour. Burn a hole in my cheek or stop bragging. Candy bag. Pamler chocolate tastes like chalk, and the only reason we sell it is cause the margins are insane. The off-brand Walgreens brand chocolate you get around Easter. It tastes chalky and like it was sweetened with Splenda. My mom dips black licorice in baking soda. Turkey dinner candy corn. When they changed the Crunch Bar recipe, that was a crime against humanity. You guys know those fake M&Ms that come in those candy canes? God, I hate those things. Who are the scariest types of people? Friends at work who are the first to go and tell everyone your personal business, along with running their mouth to the bosses about everything behind your back. Act like best friends in person but really try and use the friendship to gain an upper hand at work. Manipulative, narcissistic, gaslighting, sociopathic tendencies. The scariest kind of person would be someone who manipulates and lies like it were normal, because they'll easily get you to do things and make you think it was your idea. People who feel justified in using violence every time they get the least bit annoyed. People who have nothing to lose. When was the last time someone said you were beautiful or handsome? Can't remember. My husband today when I was bummed about the stretch marks on my 7-month pregnant stomach. A few days ago I was called gorgeous and it absolutely made my day. I've now decided to try and compliment one stranger a day, because I know how truly good it feels on the receiving end. Every time when I ask my mom how I look in new clothes. Well over 20 years. It's been a long time. Just me in the mirror. Handsome, from my wife before she went to bed. Today Purple Heart. Oh, it's been years. 9 years ago. 2019. I think. I can't recall anything. Probably an XGF 7 years ago. Which foreign song you are absolutely in love with? La Vie en Rose by Edith Piaf. 99 Luft Balloons will always be a classic. Buena Vista Social Club Chan Chan. Rock Me Amadeus by Falco der Kommissar is a banger too. Stay With Me by Miki Matsubara. L'Enfer from Stromae. Ca plain pour moi Plastic Bertrand. 'Cause every time we touch I get this feeling. Plastic Love Maria Takeuchi. Fly Me to the Moon. I'm Foreign. 2 by Shakira. Tunic Ton. Straight banger. I adore the Who's song Yuva Yuva You. Du hast. Marcia Bailalis Rita Mitsuko. Would you support a mandatory retirement age of 75 for U.S. House, U.S. Senate, U.S. Supreme Court justices, and if not, why? Yes. We have age minimums, we need maximum age limits. These people are making decisions for a future they won't be involved in. Yes. We need people who are in good mental shape to lead the country. And at around that age, cognitive decline becomes more noticeable in many people. 70. And as for president, no one can run over 65. FFS, get with the program, folks, just retire. Which actor basically plays the same character in every movie, but you think that's okay? Danny Trejo. Giancarlo Esposito. Arnold Schwarzenegger, though he's not a bad comedic actor. Owen Wilson. Vince Vaughn. Hector from The Fast and Furious. Jason Statham. Michael Cera has been playing George Michael Bluth for his entire career. Ryan Reynolds. I would have said Seth Rogen, but his performance in Pam Tommy was a nice surprise. Zach Galifianakis. Dwayne Johnson. Danny McBride. Mark Wahlberg. Always a cop, boxer, or bad guy. Kevin Hart. He can only play Kevin Hart. Who is the best lyricist in hip-hop rap history? It's gotta be the MF Doom. Big L. Aesop Rock, not Rocky. GZA. The GZA. Del the Funky Homo Sapien. Nas. Rakim. Vocabulary like no other. It's you poem for your sprog for me. Eminem. Andre 3000. Three-way tie between Nas, Biggie and Slim Shady. All are brilliant in their own way. GZA. Babytron. Super hard question. I love Fife. History is overstating it, but Professor always impresses me with his lyrical creativity. Hi, I'm French and I really like that rap group called I Am. Who is a well-written, strong female character in a movie or TV show? Dana Scully in The X-Files. Ellen Ripley in Alien. Sarah Connor in the films Terminator and Terminator 2. As well as in the television series Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles. Kim Wexler in Better Call Saul. Clarice Starling from Silence of the Lambs. Colonel Samantha Carter, Stargate SG-1. Avasarala from The Expanse. Leela from Futurama. Mona Lisa Vito. Portrayed by Marissa Tomei in My Cousin Vinny. That movie is a masterpiece. And in no small part from her contribution. Most of the dinosaurs in the first Jurassic Park. You can give one non-flying animal apart from humans the ability to fly. Which animal do you choose to maximize chaos? Penguin, their rage has gone unchecked far too long. Giraffes, 'cause let's just make them weirder. Pigs. Whole lotta people will have to eat their words. I'd say rats, but seagulls already exist, so either foxes or monkeys. Imagine the fuckery a pack of flying monkeys could cause. They should do a movie with them in it, like terrorizing a little girl and her dog just trying to get home or something. Make it a musical. Fuck, I should write this down. Cats. Hippos. Snakes. Platypus, because then it's truly a mix of everything. Sloths. You are sentenced to death and the judge lets you pick whatever you want as your execution method. What do you pick? Surgically implant a small explosive in my head. Then give someone else the detonator and explicit instructions to wait for good comedic timing. Nuke me. Anesthesia overdose. Strapped to a missile, shot into air, and blown up by a laser cannon. Euthanasia roller coaster with 23 of my closest familiars. Shoot me into space on a trip to Mars, for science of course. tossed into the black hole at the center of our galaxy. I think it was Monty Python's Meaning of Life where the guy gets chased off a cliff by naked women. Yeah, that sounds fine. A nice slow overdose on morphine. Which singer is instantly recognized by their vocal, their lyrics, just their voice? Louis Armstrong, Kermit the Frog, Michael Jackson, Elvis, Johnny Cash, Barry White, Freddie Mercury, Willie Nelson. My starter vocalist is Bjork, Tiny Tim, Ronnie James Dio, Vitas, BLR, Dolly Parton, Janis Joplin, Billie Holiday, Tom Waits, Bob Dylan, David Bowie, Billy Corgan. My ears bleed a little just thinking about it. Lane Staley, Dolores O'Riordan, oh God, I miss her so damn much. Tina Turner, Stevie Nicks. Who is the most overrated person on the planet? Oprah fucking Winfrey. The Kardashians. Useless trash. Kardashians, what do they even do? Haha. Kanye. Any of the Kardashians. Do you know them while they don't necessarily know you? Then they're probably overrated to an extent. Elon Musk. Beyoncé. Charli D'Amelio. Harry Styles gets an easy break on the X Factor. Goes on to copy Prince and David Bowie. And is somehow regarded as the most important music artist of this generation for copying what was done before by much more talented people. Ryan Seacrest. Bono. Getting in early. Donald Trump. Elon Musk. Socialite celebrities. What are your thoughts on the courts ordering Alex Jones to pay the families of the Sandy Hook massacre $965 million? I not only knew students who attended high school in Newtown when that happened but also lost a family member myself to gun violence in the past few years. It was the right decision. What he did was horrible, and I hope such a high judgment will deter any other scumbag from doing anything even remotely like it would it to struggling families. Fuck Alex Jones. Truly. He should be in prison. Bahahahaha. Pretty funny. Fuck Alex Jones, he deserves it. Pay them more. What are your thoughts on quiet quitting acting your wage? If you pay me $10, you'll get a $10 employee. I was in the army when a colonel told me to act my pay grade. Stop doing extra and do what my rank was assigned without the bows and ribbons. Take my lunch. Quit working though it. I was worried about things that could wait until the next day. Work your wage. Yo. The phrase you get what you pay for applies to employers too. They shouldn't expect to get premium production at a discount. What are your life goals for people who don't plan on having kids? Fuck around and die. Retire early, travel, and poop in private. Me and my wife have fallen in with a like-minded group of friends. Either empty nesters or dinks like us. We travel the world. 11 of us just got back from a 7-day Alaskan cruise. But we've been traveling abroad since 2013. I don't have any major goals. Not going to put pressure on myself to achieve this or that. Life is not a competition for me. As long as I'm happy enough, then I'm happy enough. What are you starting to like less and less the older you get? Honestly, video games. I still like them, but I feel like only 110 hold my attention more than a few minutes. Even then, I don't complete many these days. When I was a kid, I would play just about anything and I would do so for hours on end. The normal life. The fact that I'm expected forced financially to spend more time at work than with my family has really been weighing on me ever since my daughter was born. Social media. It's vapid, boring, and a continuous stream of advertisements now. I remember when it used to be fun. Now I've deleted pretty much all forms of it except Reddit. My knees. What are we no longer in the golden age of? Streaming. There was a blissful 10 years where basically everything was on one or two platforms. Now we've more or less reinvented television with the fracturing of media platforms but on demand. which is still an improvement, but come on. It was so nice for a while there. Comedy movies. Honestly, what's the last blockbuster comedy movie you saw in a packed theater? The old OG App Store games. Now we have false advertisements for the current App Store games. What are the most annoying corporate buzzwords or phrases you're sick of? Our workers are part of our family or something along the lines of that. Take a more holistic approach. Competitive pay. When someone refers to a request as an ask, willing to work in fast-paced environment ends up in cubicle. Rockstar developer fortunately seems to be declining. We have values. I love corporate buzzwords. You can send emails which sound intelligent without actually saying anything and just confuse everyone. It's especially funny if you are ESL working in a English-speaking country. Our company is rapidly growing okay, but my pay isn't.
Atheists, did you never believe in God, or what made you switch sides? Catholic school. No, never switched sides. My dad taught me to always question authority. Religion failed the test early on. When I was a kid, I guess I believed. Was told it was true, and had to go to church all the time. But, I was always suspicious. I'd ask questions and would get bad answers. X200B me, where'd the Bible come from? Them God talked to some men thousands of years ago and they wrote it down. But he doesn't talk to anyone anymore. Me, so we just have to take their word for it. What if they made it up? Them they didn't. I was raised religious, but I never believed in any of it. I always thought it was silly when I was little and all the adults were just pretending, although I could never figure out why.
Do you believe in right person, wrong time? And why? I guess it depends on how many right people there can be. Just one. Absolutely not. If right means anyone who you are mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually compatible with, then absolutely. Certain people are right for you at different times in your life. It's more like right person. Right now, people change and grow, especially when we are young. I've had relationships that were long and meaningful in the past that worked at that time. I can say with certainty, though, that none of them were who I would want to be with today. They were perfect for then, but we changed and became less compatible. Former homophobes of Reddit, what made you realize gay people aren't a problem? Became a gay. I made a very good friend at my job. I cared for her a lot. One of the best people I ever met. I didn't know she was gay until about 2 months in. At that point I realized that she was just like me. And what she did behind closed doors with her didn't matter to me at all. She was and still is a wonderful human being.